Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we have a mission to change the world one brave word at a time. And to help me with that mission and to celebrate our new imprint, Brave Kids Books, I have with me the publishing director of Brave Kids Books, KJ Kashula. KJ, or Kelly, as I like to call her, is also the author illustrator for our first book, I Caught One of Santas Reindeer. Welcome, Kelly.
Hi.
I'm super happy to have you here. So y'all, KJ Kashula, am I pronouncing your last name correctly, by the way?
Yeah,
okay.
Kashula.
She is a writer and illustrator. She grew up in South Africa and found herself gravitating to the arts of storytelling. While living abroad in Paris, her inspiration for creating children illustrated books grew. When she is not playing in the world of make-believe, you will find her in the kitchen, cooking, baking, and tasting delicious vegetarian dishes. Oh my gosh. So you love to cook and bake. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I do. I love cooking and baking. It's my getaway from whatever craziness I'm going on at the moment. I love just getting my fingers into something and creating something completely new, and then presenting it to family and friends and watching them enjoy it, take a bite out of it. I think that's the ultimate best reward, is when somebody tastes it and they're like, this is really great. I'm like, yeah, I feel great.
You're making me hungry already. Oh my goodness. So what is your favorite, let's go for baking. What's your favorite thing to bake?
I love making the South African tart called milk tart. It's a traditional South African, it's a tart. All South Africans eat it all the time. And I just love making it. And everyone in the family loves eating it. They're constantly begging me to bake it for them. So that's what I love making.
Awesome. I have such wonderful memories of baking in the kitchen with my Italian grandmother. She was the one who taught me how to bake an apple pie and how to bake. It's funny, she did a strawberry tart with like custard and strawberries on top. Oh my gosh, like I said, I think I'm going to get way too hungry talking about food this early in the morning. But those were such awesome memories. And we're here today to celebrate, Brave Kids Books. We're talking about kids. We're talking about how kids can bond with their parents over a book. Do you remember getting read to when you were a kid?
I actually can't remember getting read to as a kid. I remember reading all the time. I remember opening the books and looking at the pictures and reading the books. I remember one time I was actually grounded. And so I went to my bedroom, and the first thing I did was I grabbed a book and I started reading. So I said to myself, I remember this clearly, I should get grounded more often so I can just read. That's what I remember.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, so listen, you guys, when Brave Healer Productions began to publish our collaborative author expert books and books about wellness, health and wellness, I did not have children's books on my mind. I mean, I have two kiddos who are in college now, and I loved having books and reading to them. But at the time that we were, before we were talking about all of this, I did not have that on my radar. And I received an email from somebody saying, Laura, what about kids' books? And I typed back at that time, I said, well, that's not really my thing, not really going there. Let me see if I can find you some resources. And then email number 2 came in. Hey, Laura, what about children's books? And I was like, let me find you some resources. I'm not the person yet. And then Kelly and I had been talking, and I was trying to help her with some marketing ideas. She finally emails me. Third one's a charm, you guys. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, universe, I'm listening. Like, and it was like, I was hearing this message say, Laura, what are you going to do about this? You know, what are we going to do with the children's books? So Kelly, the rest is history, right?
Yeah. And continuing timeline.
Yes, for sure. So Kelly and I are super, super excited about what's coming down the line with Brave Kids books. We really have a big mission, you guys, and it's parallel to my mission at Brave Healer Productions to share brave words. The children's books that we want to publish are going to have to do with things like intuition and the magic that some of those things that maybe you were born with, but got taught out of and had to reclaim later in life. We want to boost kids' self-esteem and really introduce them to the hope and magic of all of these kinds of things in life. Kelly, tell me a little bit more about how you're feeling about that mission.
Oh, I'm super excited. The one thing I definitely want to bring back into kids' life is magic, because I feel in today's modern world, kids have been programmed subconsciously to not believe in magic anymore. And I remember growing up with magic, and it really changes your mindset. I mean, it might not be real, but it's real to you as a kid. It's your imagination, it's your life, it's fun. It makes life for kids a little bit more exciting to live. So I'm very excited about this mission, and opening kids' minds and making them a little bit more confident to say, this is me, this is here, I'm here, let's do it.
I love that. We definitely need to bring a little bit more magic into the world, especially after the last couple of years that we have, suffered through with COVID and everything. The children of the world are living a whole different life right now because of that. And in general, too, with all of the technology, the screen time, the plugged inness. I think part of me wants to bring kids back to sitting on the couch next to their parent, with some physical touch and some bonding and some reading. And when the parent brings the vibration of their voice to the story and that's shared, I think sometimes, well, I didn't realize when my kids were little what that was exactly. I'm able to talk about it now, and now I want to bring that to a lot more people. You guys can see behind me, I've got a couple of children's books on the shelf. We are celebrating the launch of Brave Kids books with a lot of wonderful interviews from current children's books, book authors. And you guys are going to find on the Brave Healer Productions YouTube channel some really wonderful interviews. That's Ariana Plotton back there, and Lindsay Reiling, and Kristen Farragut over there on my left shoulder. And we're about to launch, I caught one of Santas Reindeer. It's coming up on around November 3rd. This is 2021, in case any of you are listening after that. But Kelly, tell us the story behind your art and your illustrations. How did you get going with this?
Well, I've been drawing since I can remember, that is for sure. However, when I started getting into high school, I stopped drawing, but I still loved the arts. And then college came around, and I was knee deep into that, and that was like paperwork, but I was still creating. And then one day I decided I want to make this animation. And so I tried to grab a bunch of people. I had written, a script, and I asked them, do you want to do this? And at that stage of our lives, everyone's like, yes, but we need pay. And I was like, I don't have any money at the moment. So in a way, the universe forced me, because I was like, okay, let me just do it myself. And since that decision, I was back drawing. My skills have improved. And so that is how I went back to drawing and illustrating. And honestly, it's the best decision I ever made. So thanks, universe, for that little shove. Yeah.
I love that story. And I love that you're talking about the nudges from the universe. I think that's one of the things I want to teach kids with our books is how to listen and what that is and what kind of language that is in, and help them learn their own language of their soul. Right. So you could listen to that, you could follow that. And then now, of course, again, you could talk about it now because you can look back and see the journey that brought you here. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. So you have spent a fair amount of time in Paris. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, I've spent almost equivalent to 5 years in Paris, back and forth from Paris to South Africa. I went there for work, and so I did a bunch of traveling there. I actually learned how to cook really good food in Paris because I was indirectly forced to, which is great because, again, it's the best thing that happened to me because now I can cook. I got to try, different cuisines. I met a bunch of brilliant people, and even started learning French, although my level's still very basic. And I even met a great guy there as well. So Paris is amazing. It's a great place for artists to go. There's culture there. There's inspiration. It's alive.
I was able to visit when I was much younger. I played soccer in Europe, and we went on a traveling team across to the Netherlands mainly, but then we ended up in Paris for a short stay. Got to see all of the usual touristy things in Paris. And the thing that I remember the most is being so homesick and missing my mom, because it was the first time I went on a trip without any family. There's just chaperones coming with us on the trip. But I do remember the Eiffel Tower, and I remember walking around the streets and feeling like I was in this beautiful foreign land, the cobblestones, and of course the croissant. Right?
Yeah, they are pretty amazing. I must say, South Africa doesn't make croissants like Paris because, well, it's Paris. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about I Caught One of Santa's Reindeer. There's a message in this book. How did that idea come around?
Oh, wow. So what I tell people is that little Lizzie, who had not had her name at the time, actually whispered to me the title one day because I just moved to Paris, and coincidentally I had to have Christmas by myself that year. And so I was busy, doing things, my Christmas to-do list, so I could make myself, feel a little bit Christmassy. And then I felt like I just heard this title, hey, I caught one of Santa's reindeer. So I rushed to my notepad and I wrote down the title and remembered it. I kept on going back to it. And it was only months later that I eventually sat down and said, I have to be creative now. And I started looking into the idea, doing research, planning the whole thing. And before I knew it, I had actually finished the entire book. And so that's how it came about. So little Lizzie whispered the idea to me.
I don't think I've heard you tell me this story. So, giving me goosebumps, because here we're sitting and we met sort of weirdly by happenstance, all of our, thank you internet, and thank you Zoom, and thank you to Facebook and Instagram and all the ways we connect with people all over the world. Right. Not of course, but I haven't met Kelly in person yet. And we have created this together. So now we sit here and we talk about the launch of this beautiful book where she was whispered the idea, whatever day that was back then. The universe has this plan, right? That's part of the magic. Yes.
Most definitely. I believe there's a plan for everything, and you are where you're meant to be exactly at that specific time. The things happen.
So you also dreamed up a series of these. So I know a little bit about the Halloween book. Tell me about that one.
Okay, so that one is I discovered a monster under my bed, which is technically the second book in the series. And then there's the third book, which is I captured the Easter Bunny's chicken. And these two kind of integrate in some secret way. So what it is these books can be a standalone book. So you could read it any type of a season. But however, if you read them according to the timeline, then you'll pick up little clues. Like in this particular book, I called one of Santas Reindeer, there is a clue which reads to the Halloween book. And in the Easter book, there's a clue that you got from the Halloween book. And what I can tell you about I discovered a monster in my bed is that the monster is not really that scary. It's in my imagination at the moment, it's like this octopus, purple tentacle creature that lives under your bed, who's actually from Timbuktu. And he loves reading, and he's wise, and he's ageless. And he kind of whispers to little Lizzie the little stories about the Easter Bunny and what's to follow in the following books.
Oh my goodness, I love hearing about that. We like friendly, wise monsters under the bed, don't we?
Yeah. Better than scary monsters under the bed.
That is awesome. All right, you guys. So, you might be listening to this interview before our first book is live. And if that's the case, just know that we've got a party planned that I'm going to tell you about in a couple of minutes. But Kelly, where are all the places that people can find you and find out about what you're doing?
Well, you can find me on my website at www.kjkashula.com, or you can find me on Instagram at kj.kashula. You can also find me on Facebook if you just type in my name.
Yes, and we're going to have all of those links down below in our show notes. Of course, you can come over to bravekidsbooks.com and you can learn more about the publishing services that we have for you, prospective children's book authors. And we're also on Instagram as well at Brave Kids Books. So come on over, give us a little follow and see what we're up to with all of the future launches and the information about Brave Kids Books. We really can't wait to share this with the world in a bigger way, you guys. And I have a huge announcement today. And I'm so excited to let you guys know what we're up to. You're going to want to join us for our live stream book launch party for I Caught One of Santa's Reindeer. That's going to be on the Brave Healer Productions Facebook business page, you guys, on November 8th, 2021 at 12 noon Eastern. Why are you going to want to be on that? Because we've got a huge contest going on here at Brave Kids Books. 5 very lucky paperback purchasers are going to win a chance to submit their children's book idea to Brave Kids Books. So when you submit your paperback purchase, and paperbacks only for this contest, please, you're going to submit it to support@lauradefranco.com. You can just forward your Amazon receipt to us. And that means you're going to be entered to be possibly chosen to submit your idea. 5 lucky people are going to get a chance to do that. And then one of those authors is going to be chosen to win a full publishing package from Brave Kids Books worth over $6,000. This is a humongous present that one of our prospective authors is going to receive this year, our way of moving into the world with a big bang, and really to help you all get the idea of how we're going to be changing the world with these brave words. I can't wait for you guys to get us your ideas. So remember that you have until November 12th to do that. Okay, so please come and listen to our live stream book launch party November 8th at 12 noon, and I'm going to have the instructions for the contest down below. I'm going to have the instructions for the contest on the live stream. You guys won't be able to miss it. All right. So Kelly, talk to me about just any last words or message that you have for our viewers today.
I just want to say to kids, moms, dads, anyone, that remember that magic does exist. Yeah, you might not be able to see it, but it's there. It's in your heart, it's in your imagination, and you literally just have to close your eyes for a second and believe that it will be there, and open your heart. And one last thing, always do things in kindness.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for what you're doing in the world and for being here today to share it with everybody.
Thanks.
So y'all, whoa on the contest, right? It's a big deal. So please tell your children's book author friends about it. Share this video. Come on to Facebook. You can see the event invite on Brave Healer Productions page. This is an incredible opportunity. Lastly, today, I want everyone to remember your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. What if that thing you're still a little afraid to share is exactly what someone needs to hear to change or even save their life? It's time to be brave. See you next time, everybody. Bye, Kelly.
Bye.